Shit. Nah, I'm joking.
I'm flyer than 2/3 of you motherfuckers at least.
I'm flyer than 5 of y'all. Mm-hmm. Mojo, what you? Never mind. I'll ask you what you're smoking later. Matter of fact,
I don't even
breaking
know protocol.
I am. I forgot.
I'm not going to answer you.
I refuse to answer any questions.
I forgot I turned the recording on. My bad. I forgot.
He killed somebody else doing that shit.
This is going to be one of them long intros.
Right. I watched Friday the other night and I was like, puff, puff, pass, motherfucker.
Oh, man. Yo, you know what? I started to watch that the other night. I was like, yo, it's been a long time since I seen Friday, yo.
Yeah.
But as much as... Who did?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your thought.
No, what you say?
Did you hear the announcement?
Last
Friday.
It's really going to happen?
Oh, Mike Epps announced it on the radio. It's him and Ice Cube, and they're in talks with Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
Yes. I got to see Smokey and Day together, bro. I got to see that.
Yeah, they're working on it right now, but it's official. It's last Friday.
I hate John Witherspoon ain't around though. Like that.
Yeah.
Man.
That's that major role.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. Man, you know what's crazy? I was thinking the other day about movies that motherfuckers be saying is classics, but like when we really think about it,
they're not.
It's a classic only because, okay, I'll give you my prime example. My prime example that I always use is Bout It. Bout It is.
You say Last Dragon? Okay.
Oh shit. I'm not gonna get as a martial artist. I can't do that. So
yeah, there's a gang of people that say Last Dragon didn't age well, and I'm like, well, one, I mean, you're talking about an '80s movie. It's not supposed to age like perfectly, but you can't tell me that's not a dope movie. Like, that's bitch words.
They are talking about. I heard someone mention something about remaking The Last Dragon, and I was like,
we don't need it.
I'd like to see who you cast in it. That's gonna be important because I mean you gotta think about it. Vanity was like the it girl of the time, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then Tom Mac, nobody knew who he was. You know what I'm saying? He just came out of nowhere and like and then I mean you gotta get Busta Rhymes to play Show Enough. Fuck it.
You could the first one that comes to my mind with Show Enough is Michael Jai White, but just because that's a bad motherfucker.
Yes, indeed.
He's not funny though.
I wanted him to play Bruce Leroy.
What?
Yeah, I don't think Michael Jai White is funny.
How?
What?
That dude's hilarious.
I haven't seen. No, that's literally where I was going. I've never seen any of the funny shit. That's why. That's why. So I can't even say shit.
Yeah, you gotta go watch. Black Dynamite.
Yeah, you gotta watch that.
Yeah, before you throw something like that out, you gotta go watch Black Dynamite.
Before you got to yourself.
Stop jumping out the window without a parachute, Mojo. What are you doing?
Hey, now.
You want to talk about quantum dynamics next? Like, we can talk about some shit we don't know.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
When I put the Googleplex on the floopy doop.
Don't nobody come. Don't nobody care what you talk about, Michael.
Bro, have you seen the reel on Instagram? I probably got to send it to you guys. This girl's like stirring up some chia seed pudding. She says something like, "Got my chia seed pudding," and this old lady in the background was like, "You ain't never had no chia pet pussy, girl. You just making a mess." What? You don't understand what the hell you're talking about.
What in the hell? Yo, that's crazy. Oh my goodness. That's wild. Oh shit. Man. What?
It's crazy.
As much as I'll stand behind the good nature of chia seeds, like when you're going on to the gram talking about chia seed pudding, like I fully endorse the response.
Absolutely. Grandma, you get my support all the way live. Shit. You got my support all the way live. See, I'm trying to be good and wait because my girl on her way home from work. I'm trying to wait for her to get here before I light this weed, but I really want to get high. So it's hard for me to, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to focus right now. But you know what? Bout It. Go back to my point. Bout It was terrible. Let's be honest. It was terrible. But the thing that made it special was that no other label company, crew, had put a movie out, you know what I'm saying, detailing where they come from and all of those things in that way. You know, we had Crush Groove, but that was like a corporate pretty version of the hip-hop story, or at least Run DMC's hip-hop story. It wasn't the whole hip-hop story. It was like the story of Def Jam. Like Beat Street was cool. Beat Street was cool. Crush Groove was cool, but Bout It took you right into the grit and the grime in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, at first we watching it, and of course we smoking hella weed and we drunk, so we like, yo. But I've been an actor since high school, dog. So, so I'm watching this movie, and even though I'm like, oh, in the back of my mind, I'm like, but something's not right about this. And when I'm sober and I watch this, I'm gonna know exactly what it is.
What about I Got the Hookup?
We could just name all the Master P movies if you want to do it.
Yeah, like if you consider them reality, then that's a hell of a story.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I don't know. Foolish is my shit though, but I love Eddie Griffin, so you know that's a different story. You know what? I do want to talk. I didn't put it on the topic list, and before I even play the intro, we're gonna do this. Mojo, who's your favorite comedian? I think we might have had this conversation before, but I don't remember the answers.
Dave Chappelle.
Chappelle's yours. Monster, what about you?
He already stole it.
Chappelle's who? Okay. My answer's Chappelle too, but
Dave Chappelle's a goat.
Okay then. Scratch Chappelle because we all there on number one. Who's number two?
Yeah. You want to go, Monster?
No. You go ahead. It's okay.
I was gonna say John Mulaney.
Ooh.
I should have gone first.
Oh, interesting choice. Okay, interesting choice.
No, Mulaney's good though. Like that was jokes. He's got some classic things.
Yeah, Mulaney's
if we're talking all time, I mean it's difficult. Like in my era, I would definitely go Eddie, but Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, I was about to say Griffin or Murphy.
No. Yeah. In my era, I would put Eddie Murphy, but Griffin is in my top 5, maybe just outside of the top 5, but he's got a strong case for being in the top 5. Like Voodoo Child is one of my all-time favorite comedies ever. Like the fact that it gets overlooked so heavy is that like that's what proved to me that people aren't funny.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it might be Murphy, but then you have to start going down the route of a lot of Murphy's inspiration came from Pryor, and so it's hard for me to go all time and not give Pryor his due.
Man, when Eddie Griffin said Alexander Graham Bell, he like to buy by the gram. You got to be absolutely high out your mind to come up with a concept like the telephone. Hold up. I want to talk to somebody who ain't even here. Yo, that nigga fucked my head up, bro. I was like, get the fuck out of here, yo. Yeah, Eddie Griffin is fucking amazing, yo. I think Eddie Murphy probably number 2 for me. And it's only because I think, like I used to sneak and watch Richard Pryor, you know what I'm saying? And listen to Richard Pryor. But like by the time Eddie came through, like me and my cousins was old enough that we could kind of dip off to our own, you know what I'm saying, do our own thing a little. So we able to really enjoy it and dive into, and plus we kind of came up watching Eddie on SNL anyway. So it's like Eddie, our guy, you know what I'm saying? We revere Richard because we know our parents fuck with Richard, but like Eddie was our guy, you know what I'm saying? So when Eddie dropped Delirious, I was like, whoa, this some shit I ain't never heard before. Like, yo, this thing is crazy. And then he came, you know, when he came back with Raw, I went to the movies to see it. You know what I'm saying? And I was high as a fucking giraffe tonsils. And I was like, yo, this motherfucker is insane. So, like, for me, it was hard for me when Eddie Murphy walked away from stand-up and started doing movies, like not just movies, but when he started transitioning to the kid movies and the family friendly thing and all that, I was like, I don't know about this, yo. Like I ain't really rock with it for a long time, like until I had kids, and then I started, falling into some of that. But nah, man, like I like raw Eddie Murphy. Now he do have a deal with Netflix that does include a stand-up special.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna see what's really good, because I heard somebody say recently, D.L. Hughley said recently, Eddie Murphy can't claim GOAT status. because he stopped.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we don't know where Eddie would have been after Raw or at the Delirious. We don't know because he ain't do it no more. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, you kind of got a point. You know what I'm saying? We say the same shit about Biggie.
Is that strictly for stand-up though? Because that's where I think it starts to turn into a gray area because Eddie Murphy's a household name because of it and his movies and party all the time. Party. So is DL strictly talking about stand-up, Eddie Murphy?
Yeah, he was strictly talking stand-up. Yeah, he was strictly talking stand-up. Yeah.
So
yeah,
the reason
I mean, if
I don't agree with that, the reason I don't agree with that, like you can name plenty of people that walked away at one point. Like you could talk about Tyson. You can like there are plenty of GOATs that nobody will ever make an argument that they were not one of the greatest people to ever do what they did. And eventually they stopped. Just because you stopped at the top of your game to go on and do other things, like, okay, you take Raw and Delirious. You put those against any other stand-up, and you're at least going to have a rough night if you don't get your ass whooped.
Right.
That part.
So you can never tell me that he's not great. You can never tell me that he's not one of the greatest. Like, what are you talking about? So yeah, I'll never shit on DL Hughley's longevity and how long he's been in the game and remained hilarious.
True that.
But so I'm not trying to take it away from him, but honestly, it sounds like hate to me.
Well, I think let me clarify. He was being asked the question because somebody else had said it, and they was asking him if he agreed, and he was like, "Well, damn, yeah, I guess I do because." And then he gave his reasons, and I was like, "Okay, I kind of see that, but then I don't because you also asked D.L. Hughley who's the GOAT basketball player, and he'll say Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan retired from the NBA 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? 3 times. Now, mind you, he retired, came back, and then won 3 championships in a row. like it's okay, cool. But at the same time, you can't change the criteria because if you're talking about walking away, much like to Mojo's point, and to yours as well, Monster, Eddie Murphy transitioned into a movie star.
Yeah. He
wasn't just in movies. You know what I'm saying? He was a movie star, the highest paid cat in Hollywood for a stretch. You know what I'm saying? So. And it's a lot of people that can't say that. And as far as D.L. Hughley goes, as much respect as I have for D.L. Hughley, you have long stretches in your comedy specials where I do not laugh, sir. I'm just going to be honest. I don't think you're super funny. I think you're funny, but I don't think you're super funny. I think Eddie Murphy's super funny. I think Eddie Griffin is super funny. Bernie Mac was super funny. Steve Harvey ain't funny at all. Bro, like he's funny because of his accent. His accent's funny.
Nah,
and some of the shit. He funny on a corny wave to me. I don't find him funny like I laugh at the other cats. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, I laugh at him because he's kind of a hick to me. But whatever.
Yeah, it's not his stand-ups that are funny. Steve Harvey is only funny on Family Feud.
Family Feud. He is hilarious on Family Feud. I got to give him that. He is.
He's
got people to bounce off of.
Yes,
exactly.
He just might not be one of the best comedians, but you're a good entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
So mad respect, but I don't know. I mean, because Mac is gonna be in my top 5 forever.
Yeah,
like whether it be his early stuff with Def Jam or like Def Comedy Jam, and then going up into his own specials. I mean, even in Kings of Comedy, like he came out and the crowd was different. Like they enjoyed the show, but there's a reason that they sent Bernie Mac out last.
Let me ask y'all a question. You think Cedric the Entertainer funny?
No.
I think he can be.
I've never checked for Cedric the Entertainer in anything.
I think he can be.
God.
I don't think that's that much of a burn or an insult. It's just like he was just never really that guy. The only reason why I even knew of him was because of the Steve Harvey show. There was no sort of understanding that he would have done any sort of stand-up, anything like that, had any association with the Kings of Comedy.
It makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, not really.
I think where Cedric has the hit on people is Cedric is very physical in his comedy.
Yeah.
And that does offer some new like a new taste of things. And I mean, he can write a good joke, But yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't put him in like GOAT status anywhere, but I think that he has his moments, and I think that he found something that worked for him that not a lot of people do. And honestly, somebody as big as Cedric probably shouldn't be able to do half the shit that he does.
Ooh, that's real talk.
Yeah, that's the skill. Talk. What do you, Muscle? What do you mean by my bad, Sam? What do you mean by his stand-up is a little bit more physical? Like, does he do a whole lot more mannerisms and actually storytelling or anything like that? I don't understand.
Yeah, like there's a lot of stories, but then like like whether it be the breakdancing, which this motherfucker can dance. But then also like if like when he talks about driving, like somebody can make a joke about driving. So, but it like, did you see Kings of Comedy?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, so if you go watch Kings of Comedy, yeah, we need to give him a list.
Just do like Clockwork Orange. I'll handle the fucking eye thing. Just show me all the comedy.
So it's Hughley, Cedric, Steve Harvey, and Bernie Mac. Mm-hmm. And so most people, like a bunch of people, got jokes about driving, but when he does it, he actually sits down in a chair and like acts like he's driving and puts the comedy to that. Mm-hmm. And then like the motherfucker talk about wearing like big ass shoes and it looked like he got skis on his feet and he's like acting like he's skiing and shit.
Gotcha.
So he just does. Yeah, he does like very physical comedy, and it's not like Carrot Top style where he's just bringing out bullshit.
Right.
But he puts you in the moment of shit, and like so it definitely is an art, and he's made it his own, and yeah, like mad respect for it. And he can write a good joke. I wouldn't say that it's like hilarious, but he's had some funny moments.
He ain't Gallagher, so I mean we'll say that. Rest in peace, George Carlin, one of my favorite comedians.
No.
Yeah, definitely. You know what? Let me stop bullshit. Let's get to work.
I'm flyer than everybody. You're on cloud 9, higher than everybody. We stepping out on the town, we sliding every party.
Whoa. I love that fucking song. Salute, Edomat Assassin, Drugs Beats, the Wave Letterman show out right now. Y'all know what it is, man. Welcome to the party. Pantha Politix Podcast. We are back in the building. Of course, I'm Seven the Panther, aka the Carolina Hurricane Ridiculous Slang, aka your baby mama's favorite rapper, aka Pie Strickland, if you're getting the point. You know what I'm talking about? And of course, I got my bros in the building. Mojo Barnes at the racetrack. How you doing, brother?
My God. I'm good.
How was your weekend, man?
It was cool. I remember. No, sorry. Sometimes I don't remember. But yeah, I don't remember a lot of the time. And Schlitz Glidley. I had my daughter last week into the weekend, and with me moving over,
was drunk.
I was not drunk. No, me and her, we hit the town. She had her a St. Ides, and I had a 40.
Did you know that Long Island iced tea is not just tea? We found that one out the hard way.
And it's not from Long Island.
No, we went to the park. There's a park around here that has a trail, so we kind of just explored this new park that we discovered, and it's got a lake, and so we got to see some geese. I call them the meanie honks. She got a kick out of that. And
that's what I call white women titties.
Okay. We walked around the water. We got to see some ducks and some really cool places for photo shoots and stuff like that. So I had been meaning to put that out there. It's very woody. It's not like a green belt or anything like that, but
pause, nigga.
I didn't know what else to say. I hesitated for a second. I was like,
the hesitation was real. No, I felt it, bro. I can dig it. Pause.
That was like
it's very
Kobe Bryant hezzy, like
you finally felt so defeated, like your shoulders dropped. You were like, it was woody.
Yeah. When you see the route, you just gotta go for it.
It was so erected, Seven. It was so erected.
Yo, dog. Oh shit. God. Nah, dog. You know what's funny though, Mojo? funny shit is one time Monster was down here and we was doing some shit and we was like, yo, he was talking and he knew he was about to say some pause-worthy shit. He just looked. I was all the way across the room, yo. He looked all the way across the room. He looked me dead in my face and was like, fuck.
Gotta make sure the coast is clear.
Damn it, Dale. You're standing right there. You're looking right at me, motherfucker.
It's like when you're getting ready to say a racist.
The problem was he was looking at me too. He knew it was coming. He was like, "Go."
I was like, oh, fuck up. Hold on.
Keep going. Go on.
And I was going to yell pause loud as fuck. As soon as he looked me in the face, he said, okay, pause. All right. So I was like, yeah, I want to go ahead and catch that one, bro. Because pause. That shit was crazy too. But yeah. Monster, how was your weekend, man? Monster Elicit.
Shit.
Oh, y'all. Book of the Monsters on the way. I know we've been saying it, but it's really on the way. Like, really on the way.
It will be here when it's time.
Yeah, no, that's why I was interrupting earlier. I was still all up in my. So yeah, I'm coming down now because the pod helps. But yeah, my bad for interrupting.
Oh, you good, bro? Shit, it's all good. Shit, these if they watching Pantha Politix Network, these motherfuckers hear me talk enough. Trust me when I tell you.
I just wish they weren't.
That's all. That's all. Hey man, as a matter of fact, while I'm at it, salute to Evan Almighty and Phantom over at All Purpose. Salute Sody Interrogate over at the Interrogation Room Podcast. Salute to P7. He's having technical difficulties. He may be joining us at some point tonight or not. Who knows? We shall see. But we shall see. But yeah, it's been it really. I gotta say this, man, and it's not on. I didn't put it on the topic list because I didn't know I was gonna say it, but I gotta say this. Podcasters in the rest of the podcast universe, y'all got to do me a favor. I need you to stop trying to make your listeners feel like brokies, please, if you don't mind. I mean, I'm just saying there's a point where entertainment goes too far at the point that you start forgetting reality, and people may forget the reality that you come from. The same thing they in right now, or worse. You know what I'm saying? Because of how you present things. And I think it's very dangerous that so many podcasters think money sounds so important. You know what I'm saying? Like they say so many things that are compromises to fucking regular human decency based on money. And I think that's very, very dangerous.
And then they try to take the right of power too. That pisses me off. Like if you're gonna own it. But then you try and talk like the world should be a dope place, and it's like you're part of the problem, motherfucker.
You feel me? You feel me? Shit. Mojo, okay. I know you said you don't, but do you watch or listen to any podcasts at all?
I listen to this one. I watch this one. It's the only one that I would find interesting.
Like as we're doing it?
No, I actually go in and watch them. Jesus. I see them ones that got 0 views on them. I'm like, what the hell? But funny thing, we get way more views on Rumble than we do on YouTube, which is weird. Yeah, YouTube is not supportive.
YouTube is a cesspool, so it's a lot of shit on it. But anyway,
yeah, no. As far as podcasts, I know you see
clips of podcasts and shit.
Yeah, I watch the shorts. I watch those, but that's really about it. Like I'll see the highlights, pretty much.
No doubt. So you'll end up missing a lot of the shit that we talking about because a lot of times they send you the clip. They'll give you the clip of the thing that they talking about that's going to be most engaging to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But in between that, while they're talking, I don't want to point the finger at one particular podcast, but there is one particular podcast that I listen to more than anything that's not on Pantha Politix Network. And it just started to get to me one day when I was listening. You know what I'm saying? I was in the midst of doing some shit, and sometimes that's usually when I listen to a podcast. I'll put my headphones on while I'm washing dishes or something, and you know, and I'll zone in and just kind of start checking techniques and what are they doing? What is something that they're doing that maybe we can add, or maybe some variation of that we can add to the mix. You know what I'm saying? I'm studying, but at the same time, I'm enjoying the entertainment. But at a point, I'm listening, and I'm like, dog, like right now, I'm feeling self-conscious about myself right now because of how you're talking. You know what I'm saying? I feel some type of way because of what you're saying. And I don't feel no type of way about my particular situation until I hear somebody talking like this. Otherwise, It is what it is. And I know I got to fight through it. But you're turning it into a situation where I feel like I'm depreciating in value as a part of society simply because I'm not wealthy. What? The places that I go to are too dirty, too dusty for you to go to. What? Seriously? Dog. Some of y'all motherfuckers need to sit down and have a real conversation with y'all cast and be like, yo, we need to turn down some of the extracurricular gymnastics that we doing with that shit. Mm-hmm. Let's talk real shit. Cause y'all have mixed the real shit in. I appreciate it. But yeah, that shit get weird. Then you can tell it's getting crazy when that start leaking into the talk about the real shit too. Mm-hmm. It did still come back to the money. And I'm like, dog, that ain't got nothing to do with money. That's a whole different thing. But somehow you making it about that. I don't know. Or maybe I'm tripping. I might be tripping.
No, people is wild. And yeah, I mean, like, I don't really respect anybody's opinion. So even when they start getting down, I'm just like, oh, you're just a bitch. And like, so I just put it back on them. Like, oh yeah, like you're wrong. But,
bitches.
But yeah, I mean, it does get to the point where it's just like it just makes it less entertaining to watch. Like that's what it comes down to. It's just like, you know, if you're constantly going to be shitting on your crowd, then at some point you're not going to have a crowd.
Yeah, that's real. I like it though when I catch myself arguing back with the podcast, even though I know they can't hear me. That lets me know you're doing your job. I'll give you that much. You're definitely doing your job because I be cussing y'all niggas out on a regular basis. On a regular basis. Oh man, that shit is crazy. You know what? I think I know where I want to start. I think I don't want to start too heavy. I don't want to. Shit. You know what? Considering the fact that how high I am, we're gonna start here. We're gonna start in outer space. Y'all know that the astronauts, the Boeing Starliner people, they were out in space stuck for 9 months. 9 months they were stuck. They were at the International Space Station, and people make the assumption. I have heard it said about people, which only made this more stunning for me. I heard it said by people, man, they stuck in outer space for 9 months. I know them motherfuckers getting paid. They people getting taken care of. You know they holding them down.
It's NASA.
Guess what? Wrong. Let me just read y'all something real quick in case you haven't heard. So, 2 Boeing Starliner astronauts just touched down on Earth after an unexpected 9-month stay at the International Space Station. Most people wouldn't risk a life of eternal darkness in space for $1 million. You damn Skippy. But the astronauts did so for far less, just over $150,000 yearly without overtime or hazard pay. So you were stuck in space for 9 months, but I only paid your ass from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
So let me point something out, Seven, because I'm wondering who is complaining about it to the point where this had to become an article, because I literally just read that the astronauts didn't give a shit. Like they knew that this is what came with the territory and they were not there for the money. So
their families.
Okay. No, I mean I get that for sure. But I'm like, the people there didn't classify it as being stuck. Well, yeah.
No, it's definitely a piece of information that could have just been released like anecdotally, and people were like, "Really? y'all ain't gonna put no kind of bill? Like, did they get a fruit basket? Like,
it's an apology and a pat on the back."
Yeah, so like, you know, it's definitely something that could have been thrown out just because it's a slow news week. But you know, I mean, with it being Boeing, I ain't surprised. Like, the door didn't fall off. That's a good start.
Yeah, they made it back.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of other Boeing flights that didn't.
God.
So I'd say that at least the odds are on their side. They're home.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Oh man,
and they can't offer them free flights for a year. It's like, I don't want to go back up there.
We'll give you free flights. What the fuck you want? You know why? They're not gonna go on a free flight for the same reason that I won't go on a cruise. I refuse to go on a cruise. And somebody asked me, well, why don't you? You know what? Okay, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Me and my dad was talking. Shout out to my pops. And he was like, yo, I was probably 21 at the time. He was like, hey, so, we're about to go on this cruise, you know what I'm saying? Just come along, blah, 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 dope experience. I was like, nah, I'll pass. He was like, what? I was like, nah, I'll pass. He was like, word? Why? I was like, man, look, the last time we got on a boat with white people driving it and we didn't know where we was going, look what the fuck happened. Come on. Let's be serious about this. I'm not getting on that boat and going out in the middle of that water. You crazy as hell. Nope. Not me. To this day, I won't get on a boat. No boat. I'm not, and I can swim.
I'll bring it even a little earlier because you ain't wrong. I'm just gonna go a little bit closer in time.
Oh shit.
There were a total of 5 brothers on the Titanic. And they knew that they weren't getting on any of them lifeboats. So yeah, it ain't. I ain't getting on no cruise. The ocean is not something to be fucked with.
Yeah,
nah. No.
So, and I'm not going to surround myself by it.
Yo. Yeah, man, that's crazy. So I'm thinking to myself, like, man, if I was stuck in a space station for 9 months. Now, mind you, yeah, you don't need no paper, so your family getting your paycheck. Cool. That's the income they was gonna get anyway to sustain the household. So, boom, everything's fine in that regard. But the question for me becomes, and I understand the astronauts seemingly have no issue, or at least they've been told to say they have no issue. You know what I'm saying? One of the two, whatever the case may be. But even if that's the case, common sense says you can't account for that paycheck. Don't account for this person's absence for the last 9 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's other shit that occurs within the framework of this whole thing over here. That realistically speaking, I just don't know how people don't get it. I don't know how people don't. It's so frustrating. Oh my God.
I'll play devil's advocate a little bit and just saying that, like, you're talking about a bunch of white motherfuckers that were gone for 9 months. Okay. But there's a gang of people that don't make $150,000 in a whole year, let alone 9 months. So, when it comes down to it, it's like, yo, 150,000, like, it's good compensation for what it was. But at the same time, yeah, it's kind of jacked up. My big thing is, like, you're not planning on being up there for 9 months. So most of the stuff that you went to do has already been done. And there's only so many times that you can read a book. At first, I was like, oh, they just up there fucking nonstop. And then, I saw the article and I was like, okay, the woman looks a little rough, so maybe that ain't the case. So at that point, like, again, what are you doing for 9 months? Like, that's the crazy part.
Writing raps.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I'm gonna have the album of the year when I come back from that movie.
Mm-hmm.
You better believe I'm taking all the shots at NASA. I'm gonna be like Pac on NASA's head. Come back. Shit. Oh shit. We the realest. We them NASA killers. Shit. Fuck that. Motherfucker, you gonna send me? Dog, I'd be mad at a motherfucker, honestly. But I understand that if they did tell them, hey, we gonna need y'all to play this cool. We'll shoot y'all some extra under the table. Just say everything all good. Because if you come back and you mad, now they on our ass. They already fucking with us because y'all stuck up there and we don't know how to fuck to get y'all back. So like, yeah, y'all supposed to be the space people. How they get stuck in outer space? All this proves to me. And I want to say thank you to all the people that said this to me when I was younger. And I looked at them like they was crazy at first. But then I was like, you might be on to something, cuz. When the last time somebody went to the moon?
The moon's boring.
Nah, we ain't gonna do that. Nope. I feel you though. It is whack as shit. But anyway.
Nah, man, I was being facetious. I actually really like the fucking moon. I mean, it's really the only thing that you can look at with a telescope that you can buy from Walmart.
No doubt.
They actually are planning new trips to the moon so that they can prepare for trips to Mars. But I mean, if you want to put on the conspiracy theory brain, there's a whole gang of conspiracies about the moon, and there's a reason why we ain't been back. There's a whole gang of those out there. Because the moon itself, like, by all rights, the moon, the way it is, shouldn't exist. Like, it's an impossibility. It's like infinity times impossible that it happened to land at that particular marker, you know. And then there's a bunch of theories that, like, well, it came from the Earth, so it got shot out. That's not possible because of the elements that are on the moon. There's a whole gang of things. So basically, like, one of the resounding things, like, and this is like real shit, like scientists deduced, they were like, yo, the bottom line is the moon is not real. It was put there by someone or something at some point. And this is astronomical science saying, like, yo, that's not possible. This is not a thing. Like, there's something wrong up there. And they're saying
aliens hiding.
Well, that's what they're saying, is that there's possibility that the dark side of the moon is being utilized, and that's why we haven't been back, because things got too close and they were like, nope, we got to dead that.
The funny thing about it to me is when you had that kind of, it's crazy that we here, like, not really because we started with the astronaut shit, but this wasn't the intention. But I'm glad we're here. Here's my thing, and I've been dying to say this out loud. It's two things that I unequivocally believe, and I know people look at me crazy when I say both of them. I don't care. You can't prove me wrong. The first one, I don't think dinosaurs are real. That's the first one. The second one, ain't nan motherfucker that stand up on two legs like me been on the fucking moon. Not one of them. They ain't been there. You can keep that Hollywood shit to yourself, bro. I know better. Stop playing. You on some bullshit. It's too many. And then the funniest thing of all is, especially when he got older, the Armstrong nigga, when they was interviewing him and shit, he was real all over the place with his answers about what the moon was like. You know what I'm saying? And then he got real cagey, like, I don't want to answer no questions. And it's just like, oh, because people starting to figure out that you ain't really do this shit you said you did. And so you don't want nobody to ask you about it. Oh, that's fucked up.
I didn't even know that this was a thing until I saw a video on Instagram. There's a dude that's been, like, harassing Armstrong.
Word?
To tell the truth. I think he sneaks in costumes because they know who he is at this point. But it's for that reason of he believes that he's not telling the truth about being on the moon.
That's what he should.
And so I was like, oh, this is getting deep. This is getting crazy.
Crazy. Crazy is a very, very good word to use. Mm-hmm. I like crazy. And I want to say thank you, Monster, for reminding me that the world is crazy everywhere. ladies and gentlemen, it's not just us Americans. It's not just us. It's crazy motherfuckers everywhere. And I can prove it to you. I can prove it to you. Courtesy of Monster List. Archaeologists unearthed ancient clay puppets with open mouths and detachable heads that resemble modern toy dolls. The part they did not put in the headline, they ain't got no titties. But anyway, I mean, Monster, this was your find, brother. Please tell us more.
So, first thing, I see the headline pop up, and you, like, by the picture, you don't know how big these dolls were. All you hear is the headline. They had detachable heads and things through their neck, and the mouths is open. So immediately, I read the headline, and I was like, "Oh, they was fucking them." But
that's what it looked like.
Actually, start reading it, and it's like, okay, so like I think there was 2 of them that are like 4 inches big, and then all the rest of them were like a foot tall. So they're like, doll size. Okay, doesn't mean that you weren't fucking them, but to your point, one, they're all white, and it's like, okay, now I know why none of these dolls ain't got no titties. They got big childbearing hips, but no titties. But it made me wonder, like, well, why are all the mouths agape? And
agape.
Mm-hmm. So it makes you wonder because what we know a doll to be for, I'm not trying to bring gender into it, but it's usually for a child to play. These motherfuckers made of rock and got detachable heads and strings through the necks. Like, so what did you make these for if you wasn't fucking them?
That looks like they're either trying to resemble dead people or it's an orgasm face.
Well, so the only like actual logical thing that I could think of honestly, it would be kind of fucking smart. Like, if this is real, it would be smart. With the strings going through their necks, let's say that, like, ancient civilization, maybe they're living in a cave or something. If you string that shit along the front, the animals ain't going to know what the fuck that means, but other people walking by might be like, oh, there's people in there. And I was like, now, if that's what it's for, that's fucking genius. So that you could, like, meet new people and get some shit and not get fucked up by a wildebeest or something. But I'm 99% certain that they were just, smaller in those days. So, a smaller person would need a much smaller doll. I'm pretty sure they were fucking them.
Let me kick a wild theory to you. So if I'm looking at doll C, and I'm looking at the chest, there are like slits right there, right? The face, remember when I was like, it looks like they're imitating dead people. The head's detachable. If you're putting string through it, I wonder if it's supposed to imply some sort of reenactment of a beheading. And these are actually supposed to be women because there's just the wide hips. I mean, I'm going to assume these little lines here in the center are supposed to be female or of vagina. Sorry.
the vagina.
But yeah, if we're going like morbid, like there's a lot going on with it. Like I think it's supposed to be some sort of like, here, let's mimic the death ritual or something like that. Hasbro didn't pick it up, and so they had to do what they could do.
You said Hasbro. Oh shit! That shit creeped me the fuck out when I seen it. I was like,
so we could put our two theories together. Home dude created the dolls and was like, yo, check it. Like, you can do all these things. You can go and like recreate this. And he was trying to sell his wares. And they were like, nah, that's morbid. And my name's Hasbro. Fuck you.
Yeah.
So they dipped and the guy's feeling all down. And then he's like, I mean, I guess you could always just fuck the mouth. And they were like, keep talking.
So you mean that I could fill these mouths and the eyes from what it appears? They come in different sizes for...
And the vagina?
Yeah, and the vagina.
And the vagina.
Look at the childbearing hips and how they resemble the female.
And the vagina. Oh,
you see that line?
Crazy.
We all know how regarded childbearing hips were in the past. They were like, yo, check out those hips.
Damn, girl.
Oh, man. And this is in Central America.
You got them hips.
It says these shits is 2,400 years old. Mm-hmm. So like they was freaking nasty. That was like Diddy ancestors and shit. Mm-hmm. They was freak nasty even back then. They was freak nasty back then. Yo, that's crazy, bro. That's
why they found all that palm tree oil next to him.
This one's for my ancestors.
Yeah. Ain't nobody want to fuck a Rocky Mouth. Just sprinkle a little bit of this in there.
Just slide it across the... That's why it's so smooth.
Slide. Slide is nasty. Okay. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, my goodness. Man, listen, people, Central Americans, I hope y'all not still... Yeah.
I hope you still are. Fuck them dogs.
Literally.
Yeah. What if you got stuck in space for 9 months? You gotta live in the moment.
Oh shit. Yo, I got just to step back for just a second. It was a dude and a lady.
Like I said, she looked rough. Go back and look at the picture, bro.
I seen the picture. I mean, I'm just saying,
if you're 9 months by yourself, then don't get me wrong, like anything's better than a Rocky doll, but
oh shit. Yo, that's crazy. You know what? I'm thinking to myself, like, I wonder how much they got to communicate with their families and shit. Like, I don't know. Anyway, that shit is crazy, man.
Still talking about the dolls?
Nah. I took it. That shit crazy. Yeah. That was wild. Nah. I took a step back to the astronaut thing, but just a second. Something popped in my head out the blue, and I was like, "Yo, hold up. What about?" You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit sound crazy. But yeah, that shit is wild, bro. I don't know, man. I'd be ready to sue the drawers off of somebody. But anyway,
you know that waste disposal system that they have where they do their thing and then they press the button and go like in the plane?
Oh yeah.
There is no way that dude at least didn't consider putting his dick in that hole. He at least considered it. He even went to the manual and was like, "What's the suction rate on this thing?" And he was like, "Oh no, my shit's coming off." Like,
yeah, it's either gonna freeze into a popsicle or it's just gonna rip off my body. Maybe even both.
Jeez Louise. That just, it doesn't sound good.
Yeah, no, but I guarantee he did the research.
Of course.
Like, just ask him. Just like, we just need to get in touch with a reporter. The next interview that he does, just be like, "Yo, do you know the suction rate on the disposal systems and the thing?" And he's gonna be able to drop a number quick. You don't even gotta ask him, "Yo, did you consider fucking the ship?"
Oh yeah, plenty of time. 9 months. Yeah. That's a baby.
But just ask him those little detail questions, and the moment that he drops that number, be like, "So did you do it?" And he's like, "No."
No, but I wanted to.
I thought about it though. It definitely crossed my fucking mind. Oh man, yo, that is craziness, man. You know what? Fuck outer space. Fuck Rocky Mountains. I don't want nothing to do with neither one. I'm all good. But you know what I do? I want to light some more weed, and I want to listen to something. Anyway, I think y'all know what that means. Y'all know what time it is, right? It's time for the fly shit right now. This is still a hip hop podcast. I promise it is. I mean, if there's no reason but because we hip hop motherfuckers. So, but y'all already know what that means, man. Y'all know what time it is. High notes, Mojo Barnes. Let's get it.
Welcome to High Notes, where we cover everything from buds to beats. This time on High Notes, we decided to cover Ilpo.
Uh-oh.
Well, Ilpo came out with something new this year called Wagyu Brisket, and it's grimy. It's really good. I think that Unspoken Word is probably my favorite track. I think it's a great way to start off an album. It's one of those kind of conversations for me. It's like, who did it better with the sample? And I'm like, Ilpo definitely did it better. He's set the bar a little higher than Kanye and Rick Ross. This whole thing from top to bottom is just really, really, really well put together. I wasn't expecting it to have certain elements of introspection, just kind of talking about the stresses of coming up in the game. I think if you're a good rapper, you're going to have those moments anyway. But to hear it done tastefully is always refreshing. I was going to say, I think it's Brisket Talk. There's one where there's a sample where dude's like, you ain't got no ribs, no rice, no champagne.
Oh yeah,
that one's cool.
I'm paying in full. Yeah, that's just hilarious.
Give me my money. That sound like Cameron. That sound like
That was Cam. Yeah, that's Cam.
Yeah, I was like, that sound like Cam.
That's Cam from Paid in Full.
Okay, yeah, young Cameron. I think the other one. There was one where he was telling. I can't remember it. He said a line that was so fire. It was something like, you see the pack with the crayon print. What did he say? He said, we got these something and we about to pay our rent. I was like, solidified it.
Yes, man. Ilpo's crazy, bro. They are.
North Carolina?
Yeah, no doubt. Greensboro, man. Greensboro representatives. Ilpo, aka Ill Position. They are part of We Are the Standard, aka Watts, along with OC from NC and B Squared. And man, look, this album crazy. A salute to my bro Kevin Chaos, Kev Chaos, who produced the whole project. Chaos, my nigga, listen. I don't know how many times I talked to you about a beat. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I got to listen to this and be like, So that's what we're doing, huh? Yeah, man. Ilpo in their bag on this, man. I've been a fan of Ilpo for a very, very long time. For a very, very long time. So I can tell you a little bit about my history with Ilpo, and then we can get a little more to the album. But I gotta ask, because I was gonna ask early on, and I gotta know now. What are you smoking, Mojo?
So I listened to this album while smoking a sativa. I had been really wanting to get into a sativa lately. I'm usually doing an indica, but I was like, a sativa was probably going to stimulate my mind a little bit more to actually make me want to listen and think instead of just spacing out. But I'm smoking on Sour Candy by High Street. This kind of looks like it's an outdoor grown type of a deal, but it still smells good, and you still can get some really good quality with an outdoor. But kind of light, kind of dark.
It's kind of light,
kind of dark. Kind of piney in the aroma. Spicy for those that care.
Oh, no doubt. That sounds like a good smoke right there. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Sour candy. Really good.
I'm definitely definitely more of an indica dude as well. Just because my mind already goes my 9,000 miles per hour, I don't need to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, let's slow this motherfucker down so I can think. Like, let's do that. So so this was like 2007-ish, 2008-ish. I get invited to do a show during A&T homecoming weekend by my homeboy Eddie Ruger. Salute to Eddie Ruger. Whole Iconoclast. Salute to y'all. So I go to the show, and I see these two big niggas standing there, right? And I'm like, these motherfuckers security or some shit? What the fuck going on? So I get up and I do my shit. You know what I'm saying? And I noticed that they locked in. They're like, going crazy. Like, yo. I'm like, security, no hip hop. That's what's up. And then he was like, all right, we got one more. Up next, we got Ilpo. And I was like, what the fuck is Ilpo? And then these two big motherfuckers walk up to the microphones. And I'm like, oh shit, security, about to rap. Yo. And they got busy. I was like, yo, I ain't seen people move like this since Heavy D. Like, and I don't mean they wasn't dancing, but I mean like they was getting to it. I was like, yo, they go hard like I go hard. These motherfuckers sweating, and you know what I mean? Like I was like, yeah, son, that's what's up. So we linked after the performances and shit and talk, and we really been locked in ever since. You know what I'm saying? They was early guests on Pantha Politix before we started the Sidebar series. So I might need to get them back on Sidebars right now so we can talk about this joint. But I love the album, man. Kevin Chaos, you absolutely put your foot in the production. Ilpo always rap at a top tier level. I've never heard them whack. Ever. I can honestly say I'll say the same thing about them that Mojo said about me, and it really meant something to me when you said this. And that's why I'm able to repeat it too. So I've never heard a bad verse from neither one of them. Like they are lights out all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I think probably my favorite joint. Now, considering what I said earlier, this is gonna sound crazy, but one of my favorite joints is probably Luxurious Liabilities. You know what? I'm pretty high on spoken word too. Yeah, that when you talking about a track to start an album, like a song to start an album, yeah, that's crazy. Like you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm proud of my bros, man. Like salute to Ilpo, salute to Kevin Chaos, salute to the whole Watts. If you ain't got it already, go check it out, please.
Please at least listen to it one time all the way through. You might get a little tired because this shit is bar heavy, and there are no breaks. Yeah. It's not the kind of, it's
29 minutes, 27 seconds. It ain't a long listen. So if you got a slightly lengthy road trip ahead of you, turn it over.
Just let it go. Yeah, no, this is really good. It's got a really Basquiat style for the cover as well. So, I mean, I looked at that and knew immediately. I'm like, this shit's about to be fucking dirty, grimy, and it delivered. So, very impressed by this one. It came out this year, so if you're looking for some new heat, this is a good one to try out. I wasn't aware that Ilpo was actually a duo. So, you know, that just kind of impacts the skill a little bit more because you know that they're practicing together and sharpening the steel. So
you gotta see them live, yo. Mm-hmm. Monster, you seen them how many times then? Just the once or twice?
Twice. Yeah, and they put on it. They put on a hell of a show.
Mm. Again, it just more elevation because you got to really put on some good sets if you're like delivering like this on recording and then redoing that on stage. That's amazing.
And that's probably one of the things that I can say most of their benefit is I've never heard a single track of theirs suffer on the stage.
Wow.
Like they're just as impressive on the stage. The one thing that like took me aback a bit on this album, not in a bad way at all. I actually fucking dug it. Was this track? This album had some darker tracks than I'm used to hearing from them. Mm-hmm. And I was all the way locked in. Like hearing some of those beats drop, like I'm just like, that's not what I'm used to hearing from an Ilpo track. Mm. But Chaos did his thing. I was like, yo, like he put his foot in this motherfucker. But like I just wouldn't have I wouldn't have expected some of these beats coming from an Ilpo album, but they slayed each one of them. So yeah, definitely something that I thought was a little different from what they normally do, but it just shows how great they are. Is that like they can take anything and put it to the narrative, put it to, put a bar to it, like, because the bars didn't suffer for a different beat style either. It was wild.
Yeah, that shit's really man.
A fantastic hip hop album, very well orchestrated. It's a classic. I would give this a classic rating in my opinion, because that production's wild. To be bold enough to.
I think we got our first one joint album, ladies and gentlemen. Oh shit!
Yeah, no, I was about to head there. I had to think about it real tough, because I was like, this ticks off all the boxes. When I'm listening to an album, I had to really sit and consider. I'm like, have I been giving a lot of really good ratings, like high ratings to some of these albums we listened to? I was like, no. And then to hear something like this, very refreshing, because, for people who are not, and forgive me if I'm wrong, like Grammy nominated or known well enough to be Grammy nominated, just my opinion. This is literally my first album that I've heard from them. And this is the only time I've ever heard of them. So forgive me if I'm incorrect. I don't want to take away from their skill, but yeah, for them to deliver this is amazing to me. So I would definitely give this one joint.
You know what I just realized we didn't do?
What did we not do?
I didn't ask him for a joint rating on the Gravel Pod. That was my fault. I meant to. But
I mean, I think the whole discussion was a joint rating.
Yeah.
Very true.
But yeah, definitely wasn't official.
So now, Mojo, you have to give your Gravitas joint rating so we can add it to the list.
I'm gonna give it one joint for the sake of, and this is not associated with any bias, and anybody can say it. Fuck you. This is not associated with any bias. It's literally because I know how much blood, sweat, and tears Seven put into that album. On top of the features that were on there and the production, it's just you can feel how much watering he did on that album to make it grow into something phenomenal. And I think that he as well delivered that. So the one thing that stuck out to me was that Ilpo is from, or represents North Carolina, because I was like, North Carolina rappers are really fucking good.
I got some more for you. I got some more for you.
Yeah,
Listen,
so
I got some more for you.
Man, the circle that you keep, the level of talent that everybody has, I think really fucking says something, because it's like, I haven't heard anything bad from E. I haven't heard anything bad from anybody else that you've mentioned that was on that pod. Anything that I've been, fortunate enough to be able to come across. But
I'm gonna send you some shit, man. We gotta make. Yeah, you're right, Monster. We gotta make Mojo a list. We gotta make him a movie list and an album list. And yeah, you just have to work your way through it. We'll get to it. Most definitely.
I sequester myself every single time I wake up.
Yo, I gotta I want to salute Uwe one more time. Salute to y'all. Uwe do that motherfucking thing. That pink Zaza. That's my joint. That's my jam. Thank you so much. It's fiery. It gets me highery. I think the biggest thing about it that I like though is that it burns just a little. You know what I'm saying? When you inhale, it burns just a little, but not enough to necessarily make you cough unless you take a big, you know what I mean? And sometimes I do that because I'm hard-headed, but just enough burn to remind you that you're smoking, you know what I'm saying? But when you blow it out, you don't feel that. And it's so smooth, man. So yeah, I love that shit. Salute to Uwe, Pink Zaza. I love that shit. Monster, what you smoking tonight? What you got?
Hold on. So I'm so sorry to interrupt, Monster. I know you got a whole thing going on.
No,
can we talk about you enjoying the burn in your throat? I don't understand.
I was actually getting ready to ask the same ass question because I don't smoke weed. So when he was like, it burned just a little bit down here, I was like, why is that good?
Yeah.
Okay, so
like that's not fun.
It's kind of the same. It's kind of the same reason why I chose to drink the liquors I drink over time, because of how they burn. Like I like, for whatever reason, I like when I eat sushi, a lot of times I OD on wasabi, and I know it's gonna burn. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and I'll sit there and sweat and be having to blow my nose and all kind of. I don't give a fuck. Like this I want this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's crazy, man. I like super duper hot shit. I don't know why, but I do.
That's kind of weird, man. But when I remember when you will just consume, I don't know, 1,000,000 milligram brownie. Like what else would I expect from 7? What else would I expect? I want the pain. I want the pain. I know it's wrong.
Shit.
But it feels good.
Crazy.
I need a balance.
Punish me.
But yeah, I want to feel the burn in my throat. I think it's just the placement of like where you're feeling the burn. Because when it's alcohol, like, is it the same thing? Like you're feeling a burn in your throat with the alcohol, or
nah? I feel the burn more in my chest with the alcohol. You know what I'm saying?
You need an intervention.
This nigga said I need an intervention. I am fucking dead. That's crazy.
I am worried about you.
Nah, man, it's just man, fuck that. What you smoking, man?
So I'm actually going back and forth between two. Do you want the blue or the orange?
Oh, the blue all day, every day.
No, we want both.
So this one's like a bluish, like, yeah. So it's weird because so the brand is Lost Mary, and it is lime, grapefruit, blue. And I was like, okay. And I know it doesn't show well on the camera, but I was like, okay, if you look at limes and grapefruits, ain't none of them blue. So
got a point.
Like, it's lime, grapefruit, blue. And it's like, so I don't know if they just put a little dabble of blue drink in there or what. Or they just like ran out of like green bodies and they were like, well, we can't call it lime grapefruit, so it's lime, grapefruit, blue. So yeah, it's weird, but I'm switching between the two because this one's like real heavy and this one's real light. So you put them together for a nice time.
Yeah, go ahead and hit it. Yep, there we go.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. The fire shit.
So the orange one, I will give you the orange one too, just because this one is a little bit more creative. So it's Lost Mary as well, but it's the Mango Twisted Sister. And given that the brand is Lost Mary and it's Mango Twisted Sister, it makes me feel like something bad's happening.
Yeah.
Like wherever Mary is, she's not having a good time.
Nah, she's bad for it. Yeah.
Now I'm feeling blue.
Yeah, and I'm like, so why is this one so light? Like, it feels like this one should be heavy because damn, that's a heavy title.
I know.
Monster, so do you have a brand that you like of the vapes?
So one of the brands that I was going towards heavy, they're actually discontinuing. So apparently I'm the only one that liked them. But Lost Mary is the same like company that they just turn some things around. But there's a lot of vapes out there that like make me cough, and like I'm like I might as well be smoking Newports.
Yeah.
So that there's a couple brands that I fuck with. The Tyson ones are actually dope. Mike Tyson did one, and and he's got some good ones.
Do you feel that it does? Is it a fixation thing that you're trying to just take care of, or do you feel like these are a good alternative to the Newports?
I smoked these because people kept telling me to stop smoking Newports or I was going to die. And I was like, you can't kill a monster. But apparently I'm the only one that thinks that. And I'm like, well, I'm going to show you. But yeah, so I was like, I still smoke a Newport when I'm outside. But yeah,
you shouldn't do that.
Like, I'll get one of these. All right.
Because I find that the nicotine doesn't really compare in a vape to a Newport.
Seb has seen me plenty of times hit this like 2 or 3 times and then just take out a Newport because I'm like, this just ain't hitting what I need it to hit right now. Like that's when I start feeling like Seb. I'm like, I want to feel in my chest.
Punish me.
Yeah. And this just ain't doing it. So I'm like, fuck you, Lost Marion.
Yeah.
Oh man. Shit, man. We gotta get back to the regular screen, man. Close us out, man. What we doing?
Oh, well, this is High Notes. We reviewed Ilpo's Wagyu brisket. It's really good. You should check it out. I gave it 1 joint. I'm high.
Produced by Kevin Chaos.
Kevin Chaos is a beast with the production. I will be listening to more so that way I can try to get better on my production. But this has been High Notes, where we cover everything from buzz to beats, bitch.
Yeah, bitch. That shit is crazy. Yo, all that made me think about every time I hit. First of all, I think that it's dope that y'all doing the Murderless Crow thing the way y'all doing it. But I also think immediately about Monster's joke when we did the intro on Soul's version. When he was like, Murderless Crow. He was like, wait, how did you say that shit again? Hold on.
The only thing that you killed was a bucket of chicken.
Bucket of chicken, yes.
Rude.
Yo, that shit had me dying.
So I remember that because I'm like, didn't I think it was said that that's how we'll know if Soul watches the podcast. And guess what? He has not said anything about it.
Nope. What a motherfucker. Yeah, you know what? Exactly. Yeah, that's true. You know, matter of fact, yeah. You know what? I'm about to talk. I'm about to have a 5-minute dump on Soul session. And then, I'm joking.
Take a dump on Soul session.
And then be like, he's never gonna know. Don't worry about it. I can clip it and put it on the internet and he still won't know.
You're a bad friend.
Very good. Very well timed.
I'm gonna be like, hey, yo, dog.
I like that. That's
how you got a show on the network and don't watch none of the shows on the
Yeah.
network? Like, what the
Where's the support?
Just busy, guys. Dang.
I bet you watch the interrogation room, don't you?
Over and over and over.
Yeah. I see why you got so many plays. How many times you watch it?
Wow.
Oh, nah, that's fucked up. Jokes.
You brought out
jokes,
your
man.
little stone doll while you did it too, didn't you?
I found this over by where I stay. And it comes off.
Oh, shit.
You see
We're
the
just in South America,
dead,
guys.
I know.
I'm
Gross.
fucking dead. Oh my god, that is
You
hilarious.
just kind of slide everything together.
Pause. What the fuck? Hey, oh man, what is going on over here? What's happening right now?
He was like, if you detach the head and then you put it around.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, bro. We
I like
doing right now.
I like to take this string and tie it around. Never mind.
Don't do it, man.
You wouldn't get it.
Yeah, you don't understand.
Don't forget, I don't edit this shit. Don't forget.
Hey.
I was just trying to give you your 5 minutes, bro.
Right.
Yo, that's crazy. Nah. So what up, man? Yo, I'm gonna need you to. Never mind. We can talk about it.
You need a string doll?
You're not gonna see this anyway, so we can talk about it. It's all good. So I mean, yeah. Let's move on. I'm tripping. I like fucking with Soul. Yo, so matter of fact, yo, I feel bad right now that I'm talking about this because he hit me like Saturday. And I was like, yo, I'm doing something. I'm gonna hit you. I'll hit you as soon as I get done. And I didn't. And now it's like, and I still ain't called him. And I'm like, I know I need to call him because I know we actually need to talk about some network shit. But I just been busy. So I can't help it. I'm sorry. So I mean, it is what it is.
Some
but
things to deal with.
Yeah, dang man.
No, he hit me. I told him to lay low for a second. That you was gonna get back to him.
Oh man, yeah. Now, you know what? In order to change my mood, I gotta share a story that this is gonna be fucked up when I say this. It's okay. I'm getting ready.
Are you like to a bad mood? Oh man.
Nah. Okay. I'm about to say something that's gonna be real fucked up to some people. And I want and ahead of time, like you might want to just fast forward like 25 to 30 seconds, because then you'll miss the whole thing. Because I'm gonna say it real fast, okay? But I'll tell you when, okay? I'm gonna say now, then you fast forward, okay? So the Harris County Sheriff's Office confirms that Deputy Christina Kohler passed away on Thursday. A clear alert was issued for Deputy Kohler after she was last seen on Wednesday. So she found dead a day after she goes missing. I'm trying to see. Oh yeah, autopsy was confirmed the cause of death, but the sheriff's office did say that the police are investigating as an apparent suicide. Now, bye, Piggy. So, anyway, so here's my thing. I personally think that anybody, like, let me make sure I do this right, so y'all don't try to. Anybody unaliving themselves. It's not funny, but having to say that is funny. Anyway, anyone unaliving themselves, it's questionable behavior. You have to wonder like what the catalyst or something like that is. Right? Me personally. Now I will say this. I noticed that this young lady is not, how shall I say, Caucasian. she's in the other category. I often wonder if those people who are police officers, if there's like some strange thing that happens to them, because at a point they recognize the reality of what they're doing and what they've become. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, you got to wonder that shit, because I personally think that it's certain people who go into certain things, and even though their intentions may have been good when they decided to do that thing, they got into it and realized something was off. It wasn't quite what they thought it was, but it was always what they wanted to do, and they thought they could fix it, only to become a part of the problem. I can only imagine how many, another fucked up situation. I can only imagine how many young guys may have been religiously reared by families and felt like they wanted to be involved in the church, or they was made to go to the church when they were kids, and then terrible things happened to them at the hands of the people running, the situation. And now you become that because you always wanted to be it, but now you're a fucked up version of it because of what this fucked up version of it did to you, and now you become that fucked up version to the next. You know what I'm saying?
Are you talking about a 50-year train? That's a crazy concept.
God, I'm fucking dead, yo. Oh shit. Nah, I mean, but I'm just saying, like, I can't help but think. And I don't know this young lady. Let me be clear about it. I don't know her. I don't know nothing about her. Never met her in my life. But I always felt like black police officers, black people who get to a certain rank in the military and have, you know what I'm saying, those who are granted some strange concept of power. Something happens up here. Now, I want to be clear. I don't think it just happened to black people or just happened to people of color. I don't think that. But what I think is it's different because of the frame that it begins to put shit in. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about something. God forbid if I can't even do that. If Mojo was to become a cop, right? Can't put it on me. Like, what the fuck? But anyway, but if Mojo was to become a cop, at a point, it's gonna start to fuck with him only because of who he is as a person. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I feel like something happens to a person once they're put in that scenario. You know what I'm saying? Any person, but a specifically harsh degree of it occurs for people of color, in my opinion. So maybe I'm tripping, but that's just what I think.
I'm gonna fuck up the whole scenario with one sentence. It's the pigs that said it was a suicide. Just saying. So it might have been. Might not.
Mm-hmm. I would like to know more about her, who she was, and what some of that may have had, how some of that may have contributed to the situation. Because only information that anybody has now has, as you say, come from the police.
Yeah. So I guess I would say it like this. Like, she already has to have something off just by becoming a pig. Like, something already wrong there. That's like being like, yo, if I go and I'm going to stop slavery by getting some slaves. You can't fight the system from within. That's just the way it goes. So stop trying. But yeah, like, you know, the best of intentions and not realizing that, like, stuff is only built to be burned down. But if you're going in with the best of intentions, it's never going to last long in there. So maybe she did it to herself. I have a problem believing that.
Thanks.
But what do I know?
Oh man. I mean, hey, I want to say one thing for sure. For those of y'all who didn't fast forward, if you don't know me by now, I'm always and forever fuck the police. Always and forever. Do I feel bad that this young lady possibly took her own life or had it taken unnecessarily? Absolutely. She's young. I hate to see anybody die unnecessarily. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That's even to go to Monster's point that he's always making. I hate to see people die unnecessarily because that isn't balance. Because it's a whole lot of motherfuckers that need to go. Let's walk around this motherfucker. So, like, I'm just saying. So that what I said, strictly a me and the police thing. It ain't got nothing to do with her. This is one less police in my eyes. But rest in peace to that young lady, for sure. Absolutely. For those of y'all,
you're nicer than I would have been. But I do want to. Can I ask one question? Not on this. We can put this aside. But to your earlier statement on a live thing, when I understand that on social media and on YouTube you can't say the S word. Okay. When did we stop being fly about it though? Like, there are so many things that you can say in regards to that word. And most of them are like, everybody knows, like, yo, he punched his own ticket. Everybody knows what that means.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, there are so many different things. Like, there are wild ones that most people haven't heard. Yo, he chose to fuck the cow. I got a million of them.
He chose to fuck the cow. What?
Let me hear your top 5.
Yeah, run them up. Give me more. Yeah, please. I love this. This is dope.
My personal top 5. He grabbed the paddles to the boat.
Okay.
Just because that one for me, like, it's the imagery, like where you were just like, no, I'll do this. Like, so I've always liked that one. And then it hangs heavy on the choice. The fucking the cow one has always been one of my personal favorites, just because it's like, what does that mean?
Yeah,
and that's why I throw that one out, because it's great. Like,
oh man.
And then there's his own horse kicked him in the head. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
He bucked the Bronco. I'll stay with the horses.
He bucked the Bronco.
Yep. I'm telling you, man. So yeah. Yeah, white shit is white shit, bro.
Runs deep.
Yeah. Depending on the way that they did it, like there's singular ones. So taking the rope line, like that's always been a great one to me, just because a motherfucker that hangs himself and you say that he took the rope line, that's great. And I actually used that in one of my tracks. If you go and listen.
Love it.
So yeah, that one I've always been happy with. So I love this one, but have you ever seen somebody shot with a shotgun?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so if it's a buckshot, and he popped his top.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I like that one.
Yep.
He popped his top. I love it.
Yeah, I love that one. And then the last one, whether it's the wrists or, if you go across the throat, he poked his own holes.
Oh my God. That's craziness. I like that one. That's pause worthy, but yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Pause worthy.
What does he need?
Yeah. Man. You know what? While we talking about white shit, I'll tell you what your cousin was doing.
Oh no. He's no cousin of mine.
Oh,
he's no kin to me.
I don't know that, folks. Oh man. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all boy acting up again. Like, it ain't never stopped, but I'm just saying. So a federal judge on Monday gave the Trump administration a Tuesday deadline to provide details about plane loads of Venezuelans it deported despite orders not to, in a brewing showdown about presidential power. Donald Trump is a walking abuse of power. A walking abuse of power. Now, Trump tries to claim that they are part of a prison gang. The same prison gang had been designated as a, I think, foreign terrorist threat or whatever. I don't know. I got a big problem with. I got a bigger problem with something different. But we can talk about that first. So I mean, how long you think it's gonna take before somebody get ready to pull the plug on this nigga, yo? They're gonna have to. Even Republicans is like, what the fuck is
someone's
happening?
Someone's gonna pop his top.
So
he can punch his own clock, I mean, shit.
Apparently he's aware, because I read an interview not 10 minutes before I jumped on the pod, and I almost sent it to you. But apparently he did a report recently where he has set it up to where if he's assassinated, Iran gets bombed.
Whoa!
Like they're the only ones that are after him.
Yeah. Like what?
Yeah.
Yo, this nigga's crazy, bro. He's
contingency.
Nuts.
Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry. Iran's gonna get it if anything happens to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was Jerry that did it.
What a weird choice. I mean,
yeah, it was funny.
It was funny. Everyone hates.
Dog, I've never seen such a continuous train wreck in my. This is even worse than the first train wreck. Like, this is every single day there's something new.
Well, nobody likes a repeat. They already saw the first 4 years.
Yeah, I know.
He can't just do more of the same. He needs new slaps.
Yeah. This is the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you do it, like, hey, artists, if you ever do a part 2 of an album, you better trump that shit. Go all in, buddy.
You have to.
Rock out with your cock out. It is what it is. Shit. Yo.
Poke your own hole.
Yep. God, you okay. This brings up a very, very important thing though that we did talk about previously, and it goes back to also something else that I read about Trump and Putin. In talks about a ceasefire in Ukraine and blah 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 blah. And I was like, man, it's funny. You want to stop shooting and stop the war and all the killing where all the white people at. But over here, you trying to tell the brown people, get the fuck out, sit down, shut up. This is their shit. When we don't need to get into, I don't feel like having history class right now. Y'all should know better by now. I don't got to tell you. I don't know, man. I don't know. This shit is crazy. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. How are you? You're clearly targeting certain people. So whenever your supporters stand up and say, but he's not racist, prove it. Show me how. You black people that voted for Trump, he ain't racist. Really? Show me how. My Latino brothers and sisters that voted for Trump, y'all really feel like y'all got fucked right now, don't you? Don't you?
Did you hear about a homie that's calling him?
Oh, shit.
Apparently, there's a dude that voted for him that's been trying to hit him up and be like, yo, I need your help because he voted for him. And then a month later, his wife got deported.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Dumbass.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, because apparently she overstayed her visa and she was in the process of trying to get it worked out. And they were like, nope.
No sympathy.
And he was like, but I was with you.
I thought we were friends.
Mm-hmm.
But I voted for you, man. He ready to go all stand and shit. You better.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that next one ain't gonna be the ear, motherfucker. You better watch it. I'm so stupid. Yeah. Listen, I don't want to go overboard with this because that dude is the gift that's going to continue to give as long as he's in that position, and even when he's out of it. So we always will have something to pull. Like Diddy and Trump are the two pools we can always pull from and make something funny. But I didn't at this particular point. I think something has to give in regards to the way the people who supported him, like even they feel cheated right now. So like, okay, well, if you feel cheated, there is something you can do about it. There is this such thing as the Constitution that says, and within the Bill of Rights, it says that if you don't feel like these motherfuckers is doing what you told them to do, you have the right to undo it. You have every right to undo it and to put somebody in that spot that's going to do exactly what the fuck they told you they was going to do. Now, don't get me wrong. He is doing exactly what he said he was going to do. It was just the way he danced around it in front of y'all that made you go for the okie doke.
So, real quick, just because you said Diddy. This ain't direct to Diddy, but it's just interesting how they use the name now. Did you hear about the Chris Brown thing?
No.
Oh no.
All right, so Chris Brown apparently has this thing where somebody, like some woman, is saying that like he abused her. and it wasn't getting no traction. And then her lawyer was like, it was at a Diddy party. And everybody was like, ooh.
We already know Chris Brown's an abuser. We forgave him.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. Like Diddy trying to stay low.
Yeah.
And they're just like, Diddy did it. And they're like, oh, give her $5 million.
Right. Oh, that makes sense. Pain and suffering.
He did it. No, I didn't. It was at a Diddy party. Yes, you did. Oh man, like that shit is
sad.
Like I'll say this. I feel bad for Chris Brown, and I'll tell you why. I personally feel like Chris Brown has painted himself into a corner he's never going to be able to walk out of. Unfortunately, this complaint from this person, if it's true, hey, fry him if that's what it comes to. But I personally feel like some of the things that he went through a phase where it was kind of rocky. It was really rocky, and I was like, I could tell you're getting high a lot. Like it's a lot of not shit going right now. Then at a point, it seemed like something clicked, and he was like, wait a minute, I'm about to blow this shit. Let me get my shit together. At the very least, let me do what I'm supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? He got back to making music. I think that some of the other shit that's occurred along the way has been a product of what they won't let go of. You know what I'm saying? You pulled the rug out from under him for the Michael Jackson tribute that you know he should have been a part of. If there's anybody that should have been a part of that, it should have been him. Even more so than Usher, it should have been him. And we all know. Rihanna herself has come forth and said, yeah, A, B, or C happened, but don't think it was just him. Don't get it fucked up. We were fighting. Y'all just saw my face. You know what I'm saying? She said this on numerous occasions. She's made attempts to forgive him publicly, to make the people forgive him. And they're like, oh, we really love you, but fuck that dude. He should have never done that shit. I'm like, but it's other motherfuckers that's done that and worse that y'all will openly embrace. I'm gonna say something, and I know some motherfuckers is gonna get mad that I said it, but I don't give a fuck. If you think that Sean Carter didn't have nothing to do with how shit played out with CB after that Riri shit happened, you're sadly mistaken. Sadly mistaken. And I know for a fact that at that junction, he wasn't powerful enough to do everything. But you can throw enough boulders in the way to make a motherfucker have to go a long way around him to get where he's going. You were gaining power at that point. I feel bad for Breezy, yo. He's very talented, supremely talented. And it's never going to be what it's supposed to be because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he's made other mistakes, but that's the big one that everybody remembers. I hate that shit, man. At some point, they should have been able to give him an opportunity to grow beyond it, and they didn't. So I don't know. Maybe I'm asking too much people.
I actually thought of this when the whole Johnny Depp thing was happening. Because it came out that he had hit Amber Heard, and everybody was like, fuck Johnny Depp. And in the trial, it never got proven that he didn't. They actually said, yep, he sure did. But it's because she took a shit on his bed. And everybody was like, oh, well, that makes sense. And everything was okay.
She took a shit on his bed. Yeah, I might put you in front of the train on that one too, Chuck.
So, yeah, it always made me funny. Like, Yeah. They'll forgive who they want to forgive if there's any reason.
Oh, shit. That's gross.
Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, man. Yeah, I feel for Breezy. Yo, that shit's crazy. For some reason, this article, this other article is not loading for me.
Which one?
The 10 Commandments, Joel.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not opening for me.
That's fine. I can give you the gist of it.
Oh, yeah. Please, proceed.
So, in Texas, the state government is trying to basically put more church into schools. So this is not like, one nation under God. They're taking it a little further. They want to have the 10 Commandments in the schools. So, yeah, they're trying to go full tilt. Now, this is while the U.S. government is just trying to take out education altogether. I mean, they made WrestleMania the, fucking Office of Education. Like, I don't know what Linda McMahon knows about schools, but they were like, give her something and push that over there. And then Texas just opened the floodgates and said, oh, yeah, give them God. So, yeah. Now, my problem with that is when we're talking about the 10 Commandments, there's a lot of things that the 10 Commandments say that maybe the Texas government doesn't follow all the time. So, me and the commandments already have a weird relationship. But you can't push for the youth to be taught the 10 Commandments when last night you were doing fucking coke off of a hooker's ass. Like, you can't do it. That's wrong. But they're going to keep pushing for it. So that's the general gist, is they're really trying to put church into schools. There will come a time. I almost went on a tirade. I'm not going to do it because I know we're getting toward the end of the pod. But there will come a time when I tell you what the 10 Commandments were supposed to be. Because I can tell you that Moses was a scrub. And
Moses.
Like shit most of the time. And he was wrong. So one day I'll tell what the 10 Commandments were supposed to be.
I mean, no time like the present. We already talked about it.
If you want to get into it.
By all means.
So, most people know the 10 Commandments just written. A lot of people don't know what the Bible says, but it's important. Now, all the stuff that was wrapped around in that, God spoke these words. I'm the Lord your God, blah, 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 who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. Nope. It's everywhere. First lie. God didn't say that. You shall have no other gods before me. Wrong. All he was saying was don't have your own gods. It even says, if you keep reading, if you keep looking into things, don't make silver your god. Don't make gold your god. He's not saying that somebody else can't have another belief. He's saying don't create apathy and don't create greed off the word of God, because it's bullshit. That's the only thing that the Bible is saying is, yo, y'all are bullshit. Don't you misuse the name of God. That's what he was saying. So don't use the Lord's name in vain. That don't mean that you can't say, God damn it. That just means that you can't say, yo, I'm going to fuck you up because God told me to. That's a lie.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what God it was. So all of your bullshit wars based on religion is false. That's all he was saying. Honor your father and your mother. Nope. Your father might be a bitch. Your mom might be a scrub. He said, honor and heed the word of your elders. That's it. It don't matter who it is. It just meant, yo, you dumb young motherfuckers, go learn some shit from the people that have been doing this a while. Fucked it up again, but, you know, do not, you shall not murder. Well, me and Moses had ideological differences. What God really said was, don't murder in my name or in yours. So don't say God told me to do this, and don't kill somebody just because you want it to happen. But there's plenty of justified reasons for offing a motherfucker, for punching they ticket. Do not commit adultery. God just didn't say that, but a lot of people wanted to fuck Moses' wife. He put that in there himself. Thou shalt not steal. Nah. Moses was poor. He didn't want nobody taking his shit. It wasn't thou shalt not steal. It was thou shalt not take more than you receive. The earth will provide. You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. Again, bullshit. It just meant don't lie. But the whole neighbor thing, guess who was trying to fuck Moses' wife? Oh, yeah, the last one. Idols and altars. We'll stay away from the Israelites, but
Stone doll.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So the idols and altars has two things. One, that's where you can talk about silver and gold. So he's just saying, yo, don't do that. And then the other one is the sacrifices. Sheep, goats, cattle, and all that. It says, make an altar of the earth. That's not what he said. He said that the earth is an altar. Because he made it, you idiot. You don't got to build something. But what's the point of an altar? It's the point of worship. But you can't build one yourself. So where do you got to go to do it? The church. And then all these quote-unquote heathen religions that are making all these sacrifices. Well, it says in your Bible that you are supposed to sacrifice sheep, goats, and cattle. Why would he want y'all to kill the shit that he put on here? It's all bullshit. So the bottom line is Moses is grimy. He was bought off by the church, and he was pissed off that his neighbor was trying to fuck his wife. And he smelled like doo-doo. So y'all can take that and actually build a good life for yourself. And if you follow those rules, you might actually do well for yourself. And if not, well, that's where I come in.
You know, don't get it did.
Those are the 10 commandments.
Don't get it did to you, buddy. Okay. Yo, that shit is. I like that. We need more. Yeah. I love it.
There's more coming.
Hell yeah.
There's more coming.
He said more Bible stuff. More Bible stuff.
More Bible.
Nah.
King James, preferably.
Fuck that shit.
Oh, we can talk about King James. He was grimy as hell too.
Old Testament.
Boy, was he ever.
Yep. So,
first of all,
there's more coming.
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna leave it alone. When you look at the differences in people's names from one side of the Bible to the other one, tell you a whole lot about what was happening in that second half. That's all I can tell you. You know what? I'm gonna set it up. We're gonna bring on a couple other people, and we're gonna have that conversation one day. We're gonna have to do that. I'd like to get into that talk because I there's a lot of stuff that I hear on a regular basis that's just wrong, and I'm like, dog, listen. I know I'm not a Christian, but I did do time in prison, and I read the Bible while I was in there a couple times. So
If it helps, the Christians aren't Christians.
They're not at all.
Church of the Damned coming soon.
Coming soon. Yeah, hey man. I hope y'all ready, yo. If you are a listener to the podcast and you're like, damn, he's crazy. Wait till you hear the album. That's all I can tell you. Wait till you hear the album. Yeah, so Book of the Monster on the way, Gravitas out right now. Son of the Morning on the way as well. Yep. Y'all be on the lookout for Kotu. It's coming. Believe that. Man, shit, tonight was dope, yo. Had some fun, talked about some serious shit, got high shit. Hey, can't ask for much more. I do not want to eat on air tonight, so I'm about to get the fuck off here so I can stuff my face. I know it's Ramadan, and thank y'all so much for sticking with me. I appreciate you. A couple people hit me up in the DM. Man, how you holding up? I'm good. Don't worry. I'm holding it down. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Salute the Eat Mad Assassin. Salute Extended Pantha Politix Podcast family. Salute the Phantom, Evan Almighty, Soul the Interrogator, P7, who never made it tonight, but it's okay. Now, just for the record, I'm not like some other podcast people. So P will be back. He's not fired or nothing. I might throw some rocks at him when I see him, but that's about it. But y'all know what it is, man. Salute the Ilpo and Kev Chaos. Yeah. Pretty Kings, Echo Limitless. It's a lot of people. Thank y'all all. Thank y'all for locking in. Make sure you subscribe, comment, share, rate the pod, ask us questions in the comments. We will answer you back. Yeah. Share shit, all of that. You know what it is, man. Pantha Politix Podcast. Thank y'all so much for rocking with us for all this time. Episode 174. Not a small accomplishment. We creeping up on 200 real fast. On behalf of Mojo Barnes, Monster Elicit, I am 7 the Panther. Y'all already know what it is, man. We'll catch y'all on the flip, man. Peace.